Now on Nightside, as crews battle a fire in West Spokane yesterday, 4 others were intentionally started nearby. Now police have found graffiti threatening to burn down Spokane.
And fire danger continues into this weekend with lightning in the forecast. I'll help you plan around those thunderstorms.
And fire crews are saying an incoming change in weather conditions could make the Parkway fire in Post Falls even worse. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside.
Did have 2 structures where the fire came within 50 feet or so, but they were able to stop it.
Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Aaron Luna. Kirsten has the night off. 20 to 30 homes are under level 3 evacuations in Post Falls, which means leave now from West Riverview Drive to South Spokane Street. Take a look at this map. Everyone living in the red shaded area needs to be out now. Fire crews say they're anticipating a change in weather conditions, which could make the fire worse. Our Rania Kaur has been tracking this fire all day and joins us with the latest on what we know.
Aaron, Kootenai County Fire and Rescue tell me there are crews working overnight tonight to try to keep the fire from getting bigger. The last estimate is that it's grown to about 60 acres or almost 1 square mile. Part of the problem, according to Chief Chris Way, has been accessing this fire with a big canyon right in that area. Fire crews are dealing with a rocky, hilly area. It's why Kootenai County Fire and Rescue are crediting the air support they received earlier today. Without it, Chief Way says this fire could still be spreading and be much larger. Tom Lathan was watching the smoke around his home just outside the evacuation area. He says he knows a lot of people who evacuated this evening.
Kind of worried for all the neighbors. Most of the people driving by we know, and there's a lot of people that direction that are, we saw someone going by with a trailer with all their things in the back. And
a lot of people I spoke to tonight, including the chief, can't remember the last time a wildfire this significant was in Post Falls. Right now, fire crews are concerned for visibility as the smoke, instead of going up into the air like it was just a few hours ago, is now spreading across the city. Again, they say their biggest concern is a possible storm, lightning, winds. They're worried the fire could get even bigger. In studio, Rania Kaur, 4 News Now.
And speaking of which, we do have a big change coming in our weather. That is thunderstorms that will be moving in. There's some time between when they get here, but certainly it's time to maybe adjust your Saturday plans and continue to be fire alert, because there is going to be quite a bit of lightning coming along for the ride and lower temperatures as a result of all of this storm activity. So definitely a very different weekend than what we've seen around here lately. Here's the radar picture, friends, of what is going on right now. Some light sprinkles going on in the Blue Mountains, but otherwise it has been fairly quiet. We have some light storm activity out in western Montana. Winds are going to be out of the east and out of the south, bringing moisture into the inland northwest, and so it's going to be a whole lot different by the time we get to tomorrow. So let's go through your weekend. Number 1, the areas of the little pointy white areas on your screen signify lightning. That's important for us to track as well. So lightning and heavy rain. These are going to be wet thunderstorms, so you will pick up some rain moving into the Coeur d'Alene area as we head towards that kind of 1 p.m. time frame, as early as 1 o'clock to about as late as 3 o'clock. That's when I think things are going to get started around the metro. Then as we head into the later in the afternoon, that kind of 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. time frame, that's another period where I think we could see some pretty active thunderstorm situations. And then as we go through the night, chance for even a little bit of night lightning on occasion and some more rain. And we do it all again on Sunday, and we do it all again after that on Monday. So we've got 3 straight days of some pretty active weather in the inland northwest, and likely more new wildfires from those lightning strikes, even with the rain. We'll talk about why we're still worried about fire weather, even with that beneficial rain on the way, and how much rain we could get around our region coming up.
Matt, thank you. Tonight, an update to the Sunset Fire that erupted in West Spokane yesterday. We've learned that while crews were battling the main fire, 4 additional fires were intentionally started nearby. And just hours before this unfolded, police found out about graffiti threatening to burn down Spokane. These writings were found under a viaduct near downtown Spokane Thursday morning. All of them were dated August 3rd. Hours after they were discovered, the fire sparked up, forcing an urgent response from fire crews to prevent them from reaching homes and businesses nearby. Tonight, Spokane Police and Spokane Fire are sifting through security camera footage and investigating these messages, calling it an important part of the investigation.
It was dated 8/3, and those were written in the morning, and then obviously the fires later were certainly suspicious and caused some concern from a number of people across the community. We haven't found a direct connection between those messages that were downtown to these fires, but that's certainly an important part of this investigation.
Well, those fires have since been put out. Crews officially left the site earlier this evening. The Pac-12's questionable future is bigger than sports. With no media deal set for the 2024-25 season, schools will likely see a loss in revenue. This news affects fans, employees, athletes, and the remaining Pac-12 schools. With the most recent departure of Washington and Oregon, 7 teams remain in the Pac-12. Others are applying to leave as well. One former WSU Hall of Famer tells us without a national presence, cutbacks are likely.
Talking cutbacks in the the athletic department, talking cutbacks at the school. Maybe they're changing some of the opportunities for degrees that you can get. It's across the board, and it's going to be very, very painful for a school like Oregon State and Washington State and whoever is left if there's no settlement on moving forward.
The WSU Athletics Department already reported financial issues in June. It is likely those will worsen. Fans will miss the rivalry between the Cougars and the Huskies. Women's sports will also be affected by the loss of competition.
Oregon and Washington leaving the Pac-12 to join the Big Ten seemingly destroyed the last lifeline this conference had left. And because Washington State didn't get an invite to the cool kids table, they're on the outside looking in. Now, at this point, Washington State has not received an offer to join one of the power conferences. And with schools jumping ship left and right, this could leave the Pac-12 without a media rights deal and any way to continue moving forward. This is also a potential end to storied rivalry games like the Apple Cup between Washington State and Washington. The University of Washington released a statement earlier today saying that their plan is to have the Apple Cup game continue, but nothing is guaranteed. Cougars head coach Jake Dickert has been vocal against the idea of conference realignment. He found out the Huskies and Ducks were leaving the conference after practice earlier today.
The Pac-12 was comprised of 12 amazing state institutions, high academic institutions, great, tremendous athletic institutions for a long time. I woke up as a kid and the Rose Bowl was Big Ten, Pac-12, Pac-10 back then, and that was a big deal. Traveling across the country, you look at the NFL, they got tons of research on how hard that is, and that's for professional athletes. For student athletes, the guys that are going to come back and take an exam and missing class, I think it's tremendously difficult, and I think it hits home. I talked about rivalries yesterday. To think it's the end of the Apple Cup, to think it's the end of the Civil War. I don't even know if they can call that anymore. But at the end of the day, what's it worth? I understand business. I understand change. Everyone's got to change, and we got to adapt. And Wazoo will find its way. We have for 100 and some years, and we will again.
Arizona State, and Utah have all announced their intentions to leave the Pac-12 and join the Big 12 in 2024. This leaves the Pac-12 conference with only 4 remaining teams. A letter containing white powder was sent to the King County Elections Office just days after the August 1st primary election. The white powder has since been tested and identified as the drug fentanyl. The letter implied that the sender felt these elections should not be happening.
There is certainly worry among our staff. There are certainly fears. This raises concerns for sure.
Haley Watkins with King County Elections says the letter was flagged by staff right away and sent to the U.S. Postal Service for testing and investigation, and no employees have reported any negative effects. Watkins says in the last few years there's been a shift in the conversation around elections.
We certainly see the headlines across the country in terms of what is happening to election administrators in other states, sometimes in other counties. As public servants, we always have to be aware, we always have to be vigilant and paying attention.
Officials say the letter was postmarked out of Portland. No ballot processing or other operations were impacted during the investigation. But just 2 days after this incident, a courthouse in another Washington county also received an envelope containing an unidentified substance. The building was evacuated Wednesday and the substance is being tested. 14-year-old Xavier Gayton was hit and killed by the Seattle Center monorail just a few days ago. Security footage showed him on the roof of a building spray painting. It had been weeks since his mom, Allison Gardner, had seen him. He was visiting his dad in Seattle for the summer and was planning to return home to Arizona the morning after he was killed.
I was excited to pick my kids up from the airport the next morning. And so unfortunately, I just woke up to horrible news, the worst news that any mother could ever imagine.
Allison says Xavier loved art. Both she and his dad made the danger of tagging clear to Xavier.
I think the sad part of this is, okay, we can say he made a bad decision, but most kids get to grow out of that, and most kids get to learn from that, and he doesn't have that opportunity.
Lawyers for Moscow murder suspect Brian Kohberger are offering an alibi for the night the 4 students were stabbed to death. But could that alibi actually help the prosecution? Here's ABC's Mola Lengi.
Tonight, for the first time, accused killer Brian Kohberger is offering an alibi, saying he was driving in his car on the night 4 college students were stabbed to death at the University of Idaho. In a new court filing, the defense team saying Mr. Kohberger has long had a habit of going for drives alone. Often, he would go for drives at night. However, he is not claiming to be at a specific location at a specific time.
His alibi, he was driving alone, does not give a precise thing or person that can place him somewhere else. So that's the question the judge must determine, is whether or not that it can actually be used as an alibi.
A not guilty plea was entered on Kohberger's behalf, and his defense attorney claims his alibi for that night could be corroborated by witnesses at trial.
I'm just curious about the law. I don't mean to...
Oh, no, yeah, I can find it for you.
But Kohberger's white Hyundai Elantra, seen here during a traffic stop, is a key piece of evidence for prosecutors. Investigators say they have surveillance showing a white Elantra near the crime scene, along with cell phone data and DNA linking Kohberger to the crime scene.
There's an array of good versus bad alibi defenses. The defense of I was out driving my car alone is going to be a very difficult sell to a death-qualified jury given these facts.
In a recent court filing, Kohberger's attorney asking the judge to dismiss the indictment against him. Kohberger's next hearing is scheduled for August 18th. The trial is scheduled to begin October 2nd, though that date is likely to slide. Mola Lengi, ABC News, Denver.
A pedestrian hit by a police car during a pursuit. We take a look at what justifies a pursuit and the training officers receive. That's next on Nightside.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
Beat the heat. Always water before 10 a.m. or after 6 p.m.
When occasional heartburn won't let you sleep, get fast relief with new Tums Plus Heartburn Plus Sleep Support. Love food back and fall asleep faster.
The 4 News Now Extreme Team back in action. The Northwest Autism Center is expanding into a new space. All these cubicles have to go. The carpet's got to be removed, and we've got a couple of days to do it. It's coming in August. I'm Mark Peterson. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Hepatitis C, don't just treat it. Crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it with Maverick.
Cure it with Maverick. Maverick cures all types of Hep C.
In only 8 weeks.
The virus multiplies daily and can damage the liver over time. Maverick stops Hep C and cures it. If you've had hepatitis B, it may flare up and cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you've had Hep B, a liver or kidney transplant, other liver problems, HIV, other medical conditions, and all your medicines. Do not take Maverick with atazanavir or rifampin. Report right away yellow skin, stomach pain or swelling, confusion and bleeding or bruising.
Hep C, crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it.
Cure it in only 8 weeks. See Hep C gone with Maverick.
Ask your doctor about Maverick. AbbVie could help you save.
Pop the champagne, humanity. We've done it.
Celebrate your night with big winners, shocking thrills, and living legends.
No, I've always thought of you as Dave Jr.
Oh, every hair on my body is standing up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
This is 477th.
4077 what?
477th MASH.
Oh, MASH. That's on MeTV for 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yep, that's 4 episodes of MASH.
Now you can get more MASH.
Do you want more, sir?
It's not just 1 hour, it's
2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours.
So get more MASH.
I just can't get enough.
Get more MASH. Weeknights beginning at 6 on MeTV 4.2.
4 News Now is brought to you by STCU, here for good.
Well, here in your forecast, we've been talking about rain, but we're also saying, hey, fire danger, not going to change all that much. and this has been building for a long, long time. Month by month, we have been falling short with rain. Last month, we fell way short of rain, and now here we are. We've got a lot of areas of severe drought from Bonners Ferry to Kellogg, down through the Palouse and through the Blue Mountains. And so all these areas are just parched, and, well, we have seen the results here over the last week. The National Weather Service said it best. It's going to take more than a couple of days to recover from recent dry conditions. And that's why, with lightning in the forecast, we have got to stay fire alert, even with higher humidity, even with lower temperatures, which are certainly going to be a big help to fire crews, and localized heavy rain. In fact, let's take a look at this. Around the I-90 corridor for this weekend, here is kind of the percentages of how much rain we can reasonably expect. So most of us are going to get something. A good number of us, if you get under some of these heavier thunderstorms, could get a quarter inch, maybe a little bit more. And that's a big deal in August because we average less than half an inch of rain. And some of us could even get way more than that. And Mother Nature hits us with the fire danger, comes back with the other, hits us with potential for flash flooding with this weather system, especially around those areas that have been burned recently by wildfires. So, these thunderstorms certainly have something to be taken fairly seriously as they come by, and you want to definitely make your plans around that. That 4 News Now weather app, a great way to do that. So we talked about the storms, we talked about the heavy rainfall potential, the cooler temperatures. That's going to feel really good here as we head to the next few days. The air quality is another fire-related thing that's just not going to be going away this weekend. So coming up, I'll have your air quality forecast.
Matt, thank you. An Idaho school bus crashed and rolled over today with about 30 people on board, many of them children between 13 and 16 years old. The crash happened 5 miles north of Banks, Idaho, and closed traffic on both sides of the highway from around 3 this afternoon until 7 p.m. The bus was one of 4 buses that were transporting kids as part of a YMCA summer camp program. The 3 other buses were okay. 11 children were injured, 7 of them critically. All of the children on board were taken to hospitals as a precaution. Yesterday, we first showed you this video of a high-speed chase that ended in downtown Spokane. It started when the suspect shot at sheriff's deputies. The video also captured Spokane police hitting a person with their patrol car as they pulled into the parking lot. That person walked away from the scene and declined medical service. Data shows that hundreds of people are killed nationwide in police pursuits each year, which is why some argued against new relaxed restrictions to Washington's pursuit policies, which were signed into law a few months back. This also caused many people to reach out to us asking, was this pursuit justified? 4 News Now's Natalie Grant digs into those new pursuit laws tonight.
Well, Aaron, in this last legislative session, Governor Jay Inslee signed a new law that rolled back some of the requirements needed for police to chase people in vehicles, which were put into place back in 2021. It was a move that many members of law enforcement were in support of, saying it eliminated ways for dangerous suspects to evade police. But on the other side, people against the law arguing high-speed pursuits are dangerous and could result in more injuries or deaths, especially to innocent bystanders. The new law says police no longer need probable cause to start a pursuit. Instead, they just need reasonable suspicion a person has committed a violent or sexual crime, domestic assault, escape, or a possible DUI. In this case, the man shooting at the deputy justified the pursuit. The law also states that officers involved in the pursuits must go through emergency vehicle operator courses or pursuit intervention technique courses every 2 years. We did reach out to both Spokane Police and the Spokane County Sheriff's Office to see if their officers involved in this pursuit had completed those courses. Neither were able to offer specifics on all the officers that were involved on Thursday, but both departments said these trainings are provided to them on a regular basis and were offered when the law was changed back in the spring. However, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office did mention that the deputy who was shot at by the suspect and then started the pursuit did just complete his training last month. And as we mentioned yesterday, police said that the person who was hit in this pursuit by the vehicle did walk away from the scene and later denied medical treatment by first responders. Reporting in studio tonight, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
A Washington woman and a family pet were killed when a speeding car crashed into a house on Thursday. Vancouver police say the crash was caused by an impaired driver who was speeding when they hit a curb. The car ended up crashing through a fence and into the home. 2 other people who lived in the home survived but now have no place to live. The driver was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries but faces homicide and DUI charges when released. But watch this Florida sheriff's deputy leap onto a speeding boat. No driver. Pinellas County Sheriff's deputies teamed up with the Coast Guard to catch up with a runaway boat which was speeding along at over 40 miles an hour after the driver fell out and had to be rescued. The sheriff's office later posted the video and joked that yes, that daredevil deputy does do his own stunts. That's pretty wild. Nagasi Zuberi has made national headlines after the FBI alleged he kidnapped a woman in Seattle, sexually assaulted her, drove her to Klamath Falls, and imprisoned her in a makeshift cinder block cell on July 15th. But Zuberi's ex-partner says it can't be possibly true. She still lives in that home and says she didn't hear any commotion that night, even though the FBI claims the victim escaped by banging so hard on a metal door that she broke through it. Zuberi says what the FBI is calling a makeshift cell isn't a cell at all, but a room he's trying to expand.
So you're saying he's building out a room. The FBI is saying it was a makeshift prison cell.
That's a lie. It's a lie.
Law enforcement also discovered disturbing notes they allege were written by Zuberi. One page is titled Operation Takeover, and it says, quote, make sure they don't have a bunch of people in there live. You don't want any type of investigation. Zuberi's ex-partner wouldn't comment specifically on the notes, but she says she could never imagine him doing such a thing.
One thing I know, he will never bring nobody to his home where his own kids live, sleep, where he got tenants coming in and out, you know, like his garage right here, wide open.
And through tears, she said, regardless of what the court proceedings look like, she stands behind the father of her children.
He's a good person. That's what I know. He helped my kids. He helped me when I need help. It is sad that he's been accused because that's not who he is. This is not his legacy. This man have dream.
On July 26th, Zuberi made his first appearance in front of a federal judge in Nevada. He will be extradited to Oregon, where he will appear in a federal court.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
This is your summer to smile, to raise your glass and reconnect, to reel in the fun and serve up great times. To help you get ready, your Aspen Dental team is celebrating 25 years of affordable care with an epic Summer of Smiles event. Right now, new patients without insurance get a free full exam and x-rays. Plus, everyone can get 20% off their treatment plan. But hurry, because while these summer savings won't last, the memories you make together will. Aspen Dental. Book today.
Shoo-wee, that is fast.
I'm telling you, these guys are pros. They made my glasses the same day.
The same day? Shoo-wee.
Oh, yeah. Other stores make you wait, but Eyeglass World makes their glasses right there in their same-day lab.
I'm at a loss for words.
How about shoo-wee?
Shoo-wee.
Get 2 pairs of glasses for $89 the same day at Eyeglass World, the world's best way to buy glasses.
Stop right there. This week, the Denny's Super Slam is only $9.99. Hungry for all your breakfast favorites? When you want America's biggest breakfast for only $9.99 at Denny's,
It's diner time.
now open really late.
Summer might not be a vacation for families experiencing homelessness, but while Family Promise teaches parents life skills, kids have the chance to explore and have fun.
Without the routine of school, summer is really challenging for homeless children. With the help of Numerica, kids are able to enjoy lots of fun activities.
Numerica Credit Union is honored to partner with organizations like Family Promise as they work to enhance lives, fulfill dreams, and build communities.
Check out more organizations that make our community stronger at numericacu.com.
ABC's World News Tonight.
And 4 News Now.
When the local story is national news.
When national stories hit home. Watch ABC World News Tonight at 5:30.
And 4 News Now at 6. That's what we mean when we say expect more.
4 News Now is brought to you by Great Homes of Idaho in Post Falls.
Well, your Saturday forecast involves cloudy skies, some thunderstorms approaching the afternoon, and cooler temperatures than we've seen around here lately. It also is going to feature a shift in the winds and potentially the start of a change in air quality. So we're going to keep air quality on Saturday in the moderate range, but I would be shocked if it did not get worse, at least for a little bit, as we head into Sunday. Unfortunately, even with these thunderstorms, there's a lot of active fires around, and whatever rain you get at your house is not going to be enough to wash it all out of our atmosphere. So let's fast forward here to Saturday afternoon. That Ridge Creek fire that's up above Hayden Lake, that one is going to be a problem in Kootenai County as we see that smoke production in the reds and the yellows continue. And as soon as the winds shift, watch what happens here. All of a sudden, places like Spirit Lake, like Athol, like Bayview, right in the line there for some smoke production, and even maybe as far south as Rathdrum and Coeur d'Alene as well as we get through your Saturday evening. Now, look what happens after this. All these big fires over in western Montana, they're blowing smoke this direction too. And so by the time we get to Sunday morning, yeah, there's some wet weather around, but maybe also a wet, smoky smell in the air as that smoke lingers, at least for the first half of the day. So that's something we're going to be watching very closely. Temperatures tonight in the 60s, a few 50s out there, and we'll be in the mid 80s for tomorrow, some upper 80s further north, where we'll see a little bit less cloud cover to start the day. So we'll heat up a little bit more before all those storms get going in the afternoon. The cool temperatures are going to be sticking around for a while, and I think we should enjoy them while we're here, because all signs point to, as we head into next weekend, that we're going to be warming up. And we're going to be warming up fairly quickly. So these low 80s, these below average temperatures here in August, that is pretty awesome. Let's enjoy it.
She felt dizzy and had this headache. They got home. She walked across the garage to go into the house, and she passed out in the garage.
35-year-old mother of two, Ashley Summers, passed away over 4th of July weekend from drinking too much water too fast. Her brother says Ashley was enjoying the holiday on the water when she started to feel intensely dehydrated, so she drank the equivalent of 4 16-ounce bottles of water in just 20 minutes. Water intoxication is a rare but dangerous condition caused by drinking too much water too fast, which upsets the electrolyte balance in the body.
The general recommendation is, 2 liters of water per day on average per person, and that's throughout the day. But you also don't want to consume more than 1 liter per hour.
Ashley's family is trying to turn her sudden and tragic loss into a life-saving lesson.
If she would have spaced out her water consumption, she probably would be alive today.
The Pac-12 has lost more than half its conference within the past year, where that leaves Washington State. Coming up in sports.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mainstream Electric Heating, Cooling, Plumbing.
Let's have some fun. Let's win some money. Let's get it on. I can make your hands clap. Say, I can make your hands clap. Don't act like you don't hear me now.
I knew it was going to go this way, Steve.
Name a part of your body makes a lot of noise.
My hands.
Send them back to school looking and seeing their best. Get premium eyewear and A+ patient care from the experienced team at Shopko Optical. Cross off eye exams on your back-to-school checklist. Schedule their comprehensive exam today.
You expect more from local news. 4 News Now delivers.
It's to get you the information you need to plan your day.
We begin with breaking news and the breaking news you need to keep your family safe.
That's what we mean when we say expect more.
For over 20 years, my dad sold vehicles all over Eastern Washington. To the farmers and ranchers, the firefighters, to the military men and women at Fairchild, and of course, our friends and neighbors. He knew selling great vehicles at a fair price and taking care of the customer would build the foundation for years to come.
It was true then, and it's still true today. You see, we treat everyone like family because we are family.
We want you to like the deal and love your wheels.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team at Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
The future of the Pac-12 is in serious jeopardy. Washington and Oregon will be leaving the Pac-12 to join the Big Ten in 2024. This could be a fatal blow to the Pac-12 and leave Washington State's future in doubt. Julian Minnesota and Alex Crescenti join us from Pullman with what's next for WSU.
Washington and Oregon in the Pac-12 no longer. Alex, you're a former student of WSU, so where does this leave Washington State as a program moving forward?
It's pretty tough going forward here. We knew that this move was going to be coming for a while now, but sting's all the same. But I think the days of Washington State being at the big boys table of collegiate athletics, they're just over. The Pac-12 was the lifeline that they had, a chance to go to the Rose Bowl and compete at the highest levels with these tournaments, but that's just going to be over with seemingly the conferences consolidating all into, what, 3 or 4 different conferences, and that's the future of college sports.
And you think about the big picture impact moving forward, this not only affects the student athletes that are just on the football team who knows who could transfer because they don't play in a Power 5 conference anymore. You think about the non-revenue sports impacted that could get cut from this, those student athletes, the strain on the traveling across the country for a lot of these students who are going to new conferences. You think about potential jobs in the athletic department and personnel that could get cut from a lack of a revenue stream coming in if Washington State were joining another conference. A lot of trickle-down effect and domino effect in all of this, and it doesn't look good for WSU right now.
Yeah, we don't know how this is going to fully play out, you know, at this point. It's still way too early. The athletic department really isn't commenting at this time on what their possible moves are going to be, but like you mentioned, if they were to join something like a Mountain West Conference, that is so much, we're talking in the tens of millions of dollars less revenue coming into the athletic department every year, and that just means they won't be able to compete at the highest levels, and who knows what could happen beyond that.
And there could be a potential of more teams that are leaving the Pac-12 conference moving forward. We'll keep you up to date on air and online here on 4 News Now. But for now, reporting in Pullman, Julian Minnesota, that's Alex Crescenti, 4 News Now Sports.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
New emergency crystals pop and fizz when you throw them back. And who doesn't love a good throwback? New emergency crystals. Throw it back.
Does this look familiar? You probably think this is what owning hearing aids would be like. Let me tell you, there's a better way. The Atom by Audion Hearing. The all-new Audion Atom is the world's first wireless charging hearing aid under $100. The Atom comes with an easy-to-use wireless charging dock. Plus, the Atom has a 22% smaller design, so it's nearly invisible when worn in the ear. That's why we have over 250,000 happy customers. Each pair has a 45-day money-back guarantee, so there is zero risk in trying them.
Call 1-800-590-0445. That's 1-800-590-0445. Call 1-800-590-0445. Or go to audionhearing.com to get your pair of Audion Atom hearing aids for only $99.
Summer storms. Sudden, intense, dangerous. 4 News Now First Alert Weather warns you in advance.
Up to quarter-size hail.
Keeping you informed until the threat is past and your family is safe. On the air, on the app, only on 4 News Now. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
A very different weekend forecast. It has been a while since we've really had to kind of plan around the weather.
That's for sure.
We're definitely going to have to plan around the weather this weekend. So, yeah, 4 News Now weather app. That radar is going to be useful.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Matt. Check these out, Matt.
Oh, hi there.
Some people call them cute. Other people call them annoying. Everyone calls them raccoons. Little baby raccoons bumming around downtown.
I had a pet raccoon, but I'm also from Florida, so, you know.
That tracks.